appreciate that, Todd Gurley. I mean, the Drake let us down last week, but I will say this, Todd Gurley, he's getting the run. He outsnapped Brian Hill last week, $5,700 against the best matchup in football. Atlanta's home. Julio Jones looks like he will not play this game, so I like me some Todd Gurley right over here. $5,700. He absolutely will get mixed in with my lineups.
Thanks, Carissa. On 3rd down and 3, they converted last time on 3rd and 2. Ryan hands off to Gurley. And Todd Gurley! Nobody's going to get him! He's going to have a Falcons touchdown!
Travis Kelce, Mr. Consistency. You start Travis Kelce, you just don't regret it. It's crazy. He just had a bad game against the Patriots, sure, but it's just amazing how consistent this guy really is. So $6,400 price tag, and this is a guy who should probably have a $7,000 price tag every single week because he's just good for 7 and 100 and sprinkle in a touchdown.
From the 7.
On this list, my favorite play of the week. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Robbie Anderson. Again, we're attacking that Atlanta Falcons secondary because, again, them, Dallas, the Giants, the Jets are just awful. Robbie Anderson, he is less expensive than DJ Moore, and I think people just kind of assume DJ Moore is the number one there. Robbie Anderson's getting all the work. He's getting the targets. He's getting the touchdowns. He's getting the receiving yards. The fact that Robbie Anderson's less expensive to me, it just kind of boggles my mind. So,
after a loss of 1, Bridgewater floating it down the sideline for Anderson with a one-handed grab. Robbie Anderson focused and followed that football into his arm.
Boy, is he smooth.
Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Life here, week number 6. We got some fun things to go over. We got some lot of craziness, right? A lot of craziness. You guys and gals know me. My name is Andy Chevalier, aka the Big AC. 401 Crew 1 on DraftKings. The Fantasy Life with AC on YouTube and Facebook, and at Trivia with AC on Twitter. We had a pretty good week last week. Robbie Anderson did not let us down. Attacking Carolina on the ground did not let us down yet again. And attacking Dallas in the air didn't let us down. So we did pretty well. I definitely wish we did a little bit better with the core 4. Eric Ebron could have had a much better game. Fumbling the ball is not going to really cure that. And, of course, an absolutely devastating injury to Dak definitely hurt what we were trying to do here. But that being said, we got a new week, a lot of new obstacles to go over, right? COVID, is Atlanta going to play? Are the Colts going to play? It doesn't really affect the main slate, but Lev Bell going to the Chiefs, how is that going to shake up things? Will that affect the pass catchers like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce? We'll kind of go into that. But as the same way we start each and every show, we're going to do our question of the week. Last week's question, what backup running back led all running backs week 4 in offensive snaps played, playing 92% of the team's snaps? The correct answer on that one was Jerick McKinnon, actually from the Niners. With no Raheem Mostert, McKinnon came in. Jeff Wilson Jr. essentially eliminated from the playbook. I think he only saw 3 snaps the entire game. Jerick McKinnon was the correct answer. The reason why I asked that question is San Francisco is a system team. Whoever the starter is going to put up fantasy numbers. Raheem Mostert comes in, even on limited time against Miami, had a good game. Niners got absolutely blown out against Miami, but Raheem Mostert got his share, and that's what was trying to show, is that whoever is the guy in San Francisco is gonna put up fantasy numbers. We did have a winner. I believe Chris DaCosta was the one to get that one right last week. We got a new question of the week this week. Also, before I reveal the question of the week for this week, shout out to my guy, Brian McKean. He entered his free $1 DraftKings ticket, and he quadrupled that. He put up a very good score. I believe he scored 187. He attacked that Dallas game. He believe he used Teddy Bridgewater. He put up a really high score, so we're gonna parlay his $4 into something else, or maybe I'll just give him $4. You know, we'll see whatever Brian wants. But yeah, shout out to you, Brian guy. Great job last week. New question of the week, though. Let's see what we got over here. Going into week number 6, what quarterback currently leads the NFL this season in total touchdowns, both passing and rushing combined? First person to get that right, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, will get a free $1 ticket. And who knows, maybe it'll be like Brian and quadruple your free investments. 4 aces time. But before 4 aces, what am I? I'm jumping the gun here. We got to talk about our target leaders. Why is targets important? Targets equal opportunity. Opportunity equals points. So let's check out our target leaders. Top of the list, new leader, Allen Robinson. Really bounced back after his get-right game against Atlanta. Back-to-back solid weeks for A-Rob. Nick Foles coming in has really absolutely helped this guy's season right now. 57 targets, for over 400 yards, receiving 35 catches on 2 touchdowns. Allen Robinson is going to be in our on our radar, folks. Amari Cooper right under that. Am expecting a dip in Amari Cooper, but he's not on the main slate this week, so we won't talk too much about him. Same with DeAndre Hopkins, super consistent guy. Stephon Diggs, you're in the club, man. I'm not going to trash Diggs anymore, trust me. Calvin Ridley, this is a guy that's definitely going to be on our radar. He's in our radar every time he's on the main slate. Seems to be the only guy, especially if Julio Jones does not play. So Ridley still on top. Julio Jones not even practicing this week. Keenan Allen got hurt. 50 targets this season, though. He only played 1 quarter, and he still is in the top 6 in targets. That's a good sign. Darren Waller leads all tight ends with 47 targets. Right under that, Travis Kelce, Mr. Consistency, with 46 targets. Terry McFly, 46 targets as well. We're going to talk a little bit about him. Kyle Allen came in, got taken out. Alex Smith came in and was essentially useless. Really wanted to see Alex Smith do something. But we'll talk more about Terry McFly later with 46 targets right now. Underneath that, our guy, Robbie A, still getting it done, still on the leaderboard. Thing, again, I love about him, almost 500 yards receiving, 36 catches, 46 targets, 1 touchdown. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, folks. The fact that he's not touchdown reliant is very, very good for fantasy owners. Alvin Kamara leading the way in running backs with 45 targets. Wonder Bread, Adam Thielen, the number 1 receiver in fantasy football right now. Who's he got this week? Number 1 receiver, Atlanta? We might be talking about him later. You can bet on that. Tyler Boyd underneath that. AJ Green just completely checked out of that team. Tyler Boyd is the clear-cut number 1 receiver on that squad. All right, 4 aces time. Let's get back into it. So, again, what do we focus on each and every week? MOP, matchup, opportunity, and price. We use those 3 terms to really get us exactly what we're looking for this week. And there's some big names we like this week. I mean, there's a lot of firepower not on the main slate. A lot of very fantasy relevant teams on bye. The Raiders, the Chargers, the Saints. The Chiefs are in the Monday night slate, so they're not involved. So there's going to be some clear-cut games we're going to want to target. And, teams we love to target each and every week. Dallas, Miami, Jets, Carolina, Atlanta. These are teams we're going to want to target each and every week. So let's start the list off. I went a little bit of discount here. I like Ryan Fitzpatrick this week. He made my 4 aces right here, $5,900 at home against the New York Jets. I love me some Warbeard, man. This guy is just driving like he stole it. We talked about him 2 weeks ago. He's just getting it done. Man, sometimes it's ugly, but he's doing it on the ground. He's doing it in the air. Awesome matchup this week against the Jets. I think this is a very affordable game stack going with Devonta Parker and Jamison Crowder. We'll talk more about him later. But man, I am loving me some Warbeard here. Ryan Fitzpatrick, $5,900. If you do want to go with another quarterback, I 1,000% recommend Kirk Cousins. You just can't go wrong against Atlanta, but I just went with a $200 discount here with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Running back I'm using this week, Carolina. Who's Carolina facing? Oh, the Bears. Okay, yeah. David Montgomery is who we're going with. I mean, it's literally only done us wrong once, and that was the Drake week. Montgomery also just came off a career high in catches, catching 7 balls last week. So he's getting involved in the passing game with new Tariq Cohen. David Montgomery, $5,800 price tag against Carolina. That is something we absolutely love. Best matchup in football. He's the clear-cut running back 1 there, and his price tag's very good. Underneath that, yeah, we're going Wonder Bread here. $7,300, big boy price tag. But, man, Thielen, number 1 receiver in football right now, the best matchup in football. I would not recommend watching my show if I didn't have Adam Thielen on here, to be honest. So, Thielen is better than Robbie Anderson, and look what Robbie Anderson did last week. I mean, arguably, they might be facing the best receiver they've faced in regards for pure talents Atlanta has. So, Thielen, going to have a monster game. Him and Justin Jefferson. Tight end this week that I'm going with, Evan Ingram versus Washington. Again, we love picking on Washington. We love picking on Philly. We like picking on Buffalo. Evan Ingram just had a great price tag this week, and they're really getting him involved in a lot of different ways. I don't know if you saw last week, Evan Ingram had a fake field goal touchdown reception called back due to a illegal formation. The offensive lineman didn't put his hand down quick enough, I guess. It was some very BS call that got taken off. Typical Giants move right there. But Evan Ingram, $4,900. I'm just loving that he's getting involved. He's getting the targets. So, yeah, $4,900. Just nothing else really leaps off the page there, especially when it comes to price. There's another tight end later that we'll talk about that I do like a lot, given that Kelsey and Waller are not on this slate. So we'll talk about that later. Combined salary of all 4 of these guys, $23,000, $900, $23,900. Easy for me to say. That's going to give us a lot of wiggle room to get those bigger guys in. Again, I like keeping my 4 aces under $25,000. It's going to give us a really easy opportunity to kind of slide in those bigger guys that we like. Defense that I'm going this week, I know I don't like to spend too much time on defense. The Dolphins, DST, I believe they're $2,900 at home against the Jets. That really stands out for me. Other than that, possibly Pittsburgh at home against Cleveland. But again, I like spending kind of a low amount of money. So Dolphins kind of leapt off the board for there. Again, combine those, we're talking about almost $25,000 of salary to use on 4 different players. So liking that quite a lot. Let's go over the running backs that I'm targeting this week besides my 4 aces. Top of the list, I got Alexander Madison, no Dalvin Cook. We're seeing, again, we talked about Raheem Mostert in a great system in San Fran. Same thing with the Vikings. Whoever the guy is there is really getting it done. One of the best rush offensive lines in football right now. Wish that price tag was a little bit lower. DraftKings knew what they were doing, but yeah, Alexander Madison, Gary Kubiak knows exactly what he's doing there. So loving Minnesota this week, loving Alexander Madison. Mike Davis, meant to put Christian McCaffrey. Oh, it's the same guy. Never mind, my bad. It's the same dude. Look at the numbers. I mean, what is the difference numbers wise? Like, does McCaffrey have like 3 or 4 more points per game than this guy? Like, it's the same guy, and he's 3,000 less than what CMC would be. Pretty sure CMC is more than him, and he's on injured reserve, like, on DraftKings right now. It's just silly. Mike Davis is in play every single week. Every single week. While Christian McCaffrey's not on the field, Mike Davis is in your lineups. That's what it comes down to. Antonio Gibson, $5,500. Good matchup against the Giants. Giants have been letting up big rushers each and every week. He's also catching balls, too, with Kyle Allen at quarterback. Kyle Allen loves checking down. Antonio Gibson had a 3-catch prop bet on DraftKings last week. He beat it in the first quarter. So, yeah, Antonio Gibson's getting the rock in the pass-catching game as well. So, like his price tag of $5,500. Underneath that, $5,400, Myles Gaskin. If you're going to use Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen, I like going Myles Gaskin as a running back here. Good price tag. He's catching balls. I like him getting 20 points this week. I think it's not going to be a stretch at all to get a 3x investment from Myles Gaskin. Let's look at other receivers that we want to use this week. Top of the list, I got Calvin Ridley here. $7,800. Again, he's just getting it done. With no Julio Jones, it doesn't even matter. It helps, and honestly, it probably helps him if Julio Jones is in the lineup, but Calvin Ridley, $7,800. Great matchup, great opportunity, great game stack. It is very expensive with that $7,800. But again, he's not touchdown reliant. You don't need it. You're going to get 8 catches for 100 and still get a return on your investment. Allen Robinson leading the NFL in targets right now, $7,000 against a good matchup against Carolina. Again, makes sense to me. He's getting it done every week. He's by far the favorite target for Nick Foles right now. So Allen Robinson is absolutely in play for me. Devonta Parker, $6,300 against the Jets. I had Ryan Fitzpatrick in my 4 aces. So going Devonta Parker absolutely as well. For tournaments, if you're using Fitzpatrick, Devonta Parker's pretty much a guarantee, right? You just have to. So, in fact, I recommend using 2 receivers from the same team, whether it be Ryan Fitzpatrick, Parker, and Gesicki, or Ryan Fitzpatrick, Parker, and Isaiah Ford, something like that. So I highly recommend using, at minimal, 1 receiver for Miami this week. Robbie Anderson, and that, again, the guy's just getting it done every single week. Multiple almost hitting 10 targets per week right now. So love me some Robbie Anderson, $6,300. Good matchup against Chicago. Not the best, but definitely not awful for Robbie Anderson. So he's absolutely in play. Other receivers we're going to like in Kenny Golladay. I had to double check the price on this one. $6,200. What? Against Jacksonville? What? Off the bye? Kenny Galladay's in my lineups, folks. That team is clearly different when Kenny Golladay plays. So yeah, he's definitely gonna get mixed in here. Jamison Crowder, we talked about him earlier with Miami, stacking, Miami going Jamison Crowder. I mean, he's getting it done every week. He scores 20 points every single time he plays. It doesn't matter who they're facing. These are not easy matchups that Crowder's had. And now he gets Miami. Man, he's just the only spark on that awful team that is the New York Jets. So Crowder, he for that price tag, super safe play. Justin Jefferson, again, we talked about, same reason why we like Wonder Bread, same reason why we like Justin Jefferson, that $6K price tag. Double J, what might honestly help his ownership too is that he just had a very underwhelming performance on Monday nights. On Sunday Night Football against Seattle. So liking Justin Jefferson this week in a bounce back game, a great matchup, the best matchup, not a great matchup, the best matchup. And Terry McFly, we talked about him earlier, top 5 in targets in the NFL right now. He's the only guy. I don't know if you know this, but Steve Smith Jr., not a guy. Dontrell Inman, not a guy. Terry McFly is the only show here in Washington. It's not a good show. It's a discount show. You're getting the matinee price tag on this show, but Terry McFly is the only guy, $5,700 in a very good matchup against the New York Jets. So he absolutely is in play for me if you're looking for a discount play. Let's look at tight ends over here. Mark Andrews, this was the other guy I was talking about, and the reason why he didn't make my core 4 is it put me over the $25,000 limit that I like to give my 4 aces. Man, I'm trying to get Mark Andrews in every one of my lineups. It's very, very tough, though. You're going to have to go the actual bottom price tag of defense in Cincinnati to make it work. But he's got, in my opinion, the best matchup in football right now against Philly. Lamar's clearly trying to throw more. Again, this guy leaps off the page for me. With no Kelsey, no Darren Waller in these lineups right now for the main slate. Man, I'm really, really liking Mark Andrews this week. It's a safe bet to say he's going to lead the all tight ends in scoring. Eric Ebron underneath that, he let us down last week, kind of. I mean, he could have done significantly better. That fumble definitely hurt. But $4,100, good matchup against Cleveland. Cleveland's had some issues. And then across the field from him, Austin Hooper, $3,900. He's getting the targets. That's why he kind of made the list for me is he hasn't really been getting the stats we like, but the targets are there. And this is an offense that might not have Odell Beckham this week. So absolutely someone we want to keep in play. Other guys I want you to keep on your radar this week. We have a big list here. I fully admit we have a big list. But these are guys that, for the most part, are inexpensive, with one exception. But again, we'll talk more when we get to it. Top of the list, Philip Lindsay. If Melvin Gordon does not play, he just had that DUI. For whatever reason, does not play. Philip Lindsay has a very low price tag. Tough matchup against New England. But again, same logic with Rojo a couple weeks ago when Leonard Fournette didn't play. You're getting a 3-down back for sub 5,000. Yeah, he's in play. Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark did not practice, folks. Did not practice. Laviska Shenault absolutely in play. He's been very consistent too, and he gets kind of those sneaky carries as well. So like Laviska Shenault, if DJ Chark does not play. Mike Evans, not a discount play, but if Godwin does not play, Mike Evans has to be in consideration this week against the Packers. Russell Gage, he has one of his lowest price tags he's had since week 1. If Julio Jones does not play, I'd like to see him kind of bounce back and have a big game this week. Rashard Higgins, Jarvis Landry did not practice for the second day in a row. Odell Beckham got sent home with an illness. It's not expected to be much. But Rashard Higgins, a super low price tag. If you need a $3,000 dart throw, Rashard Higgins got in the box last week, got 3 catches and 3 targets. I think you can do a lot worse than Rashard Higgins. Darren Fells, he made my Sunday morning report when they announced no Jordan Atkins. Jordan Atkins did not practice again. If Darren Fells, and he has a concussion too, so those are the type of injuries that even if you're healthy and you're feeling good, they still might not have you play. So if Jordan Atkins does not play, Darren Fells, sub $4,000 tight end, in what could be a very high-scoring game. I like Darren Fells a lot. And then underneath that, A.J. Brown did not practice for a second day in a row. Corey Davis still on the COVID-19 list. So Adam Humphries and Caleb Raymond might be the only receivers suiting up for the Titans. I think Caleb Raymond a little bit more. He does the return game too. He had a couple of big plays in that Tuesday night game against the Bills. So I kind of like Khalif Raymond. I think he would be the X receiver if A.J. Brown does not play. Adam Humphries playing out of the slot. And absolutely Jonnu Smith in consideration as well if this does not go. So those are the guys I want you to keep on your radar. I will try my absolute hardest to make a post on Sunday morning discussing those guys. So in recap, my 4 aces: Ryan Fitzpatrick against the New York Jets. David Montgomery against at Carolina. Wonder Bread, Adam Thielen versus Atlanta in the best matchup in football. And Evan Ingram versus Washington. Those are a combined price. $23,900, giving you a lot of wiggle room to get some big boys in there. Like, say if you're huge on Derrick Henry this week, go nuts. Use Derrick Henry. Use my 4 aces. Plug in Derrick Henry. I absolutely dig it. Question of the week going into week 6: what quarterback currently leads the NFL this season? Total touchdowns, both passing and rushing. First person to get that right, you're winning a $1 investment. Be like Be like Brian McKean and quadruple your investment. Folks, stay in contact when it comes to the COVID stuff. See what's going on. Really important that you do that. And I will try my hardest to post any inactives, last-second inactives on Sunday morning. That's going to do it for me. I had a good show this week. Definitely want you to kind of stay, up to date on what's going on. That's going to do it for me, folks. Good luck. Good luck out there on the Fantasy Gridiron. Any questions, please send them my way. Good show this week, folks. We'll see you out there. Have a good one. My name's the Big AC. We'll see you next week.